all of my infield.
Yeah, Holly Rowe, I remember seeing her pitch and watching her. She loved it. She loved having the ball in the circle in one of the biggest games of her life. Here she is in the Women's College World Series.
Pride of McLean, Virginia. Honed her craft out in the backyard. Her dad, Colin, built a pitching barn for her in the yard, the drop zone, to work on her craft. And it has helped her get on the brink with the Seminoles of winning a national championship. If they win, they've got it. If the Sooners win, we're back here tomorrow afternoon. Lonnie Alameda in her 13th season also calls the pitches. Tiare Jennings, and that will drop in front of Harding, and she will be able to scoot over to second base and slide in safely. Just what the doctor ordered for Oklahoma. And a quick start.
And this is base hit all the way, and just a need to commit from Kaylee Harding. She decides to kind of go to that slide last minute, either stay on your feet or full out dive to catch it. She gets caught in the middle, ends up being a double for Tiare Jennings.
Here in Oklahoma City, big hand for Jocelyn Alo, one of the great power hitters in the history of the game. 86 career home runs. She will step out and call time. May have had something in her eye there. It is a hot, sticky, humid evening. The hottest of the week so far here in OKC.
Ball, it's out.
National Player of the Year, just the fourth non-pitcher, the fourth field player to win it. The first player that's been primarily a DP. That's how good she has been at the plate this year.
Ball.
They have been rewriting the record books all year long. These are the two big ones that they are just shy of. Single season home runs and runs scored.
Yes.
That would be a deep shot to left center if she gets it to her friend out there.
If anyone's capable, it's this one.
And a 3-0 count will get the catcher Anna Shellnut out, and they'll get the infield together.
Now, the biggest message Patty Gasso had post-game in the press conference to her players was, we need to score early. In fact, Nicole Mendez, the leader on this team, said it's about the first 3 innings for us. If we don't score first, that's when we start to press. So this is huge right now. Runner in scoring position with the National Player of the Year up to the plate.
She did get a double last night off of Sandercock late in the game when Cat came on in relief, and she will draw the walk 2 on with nobody out.
And Sandercock likes to move the ball through the zone. She's got good rotation. She likes to step left and use a screwball that runs away from lefties into righties, so it's all about angles. But she can also throw a 2-seam drop ball that'll have a lot of movement in the lower half of the zone, just diving down in the dirt. But it's also a rise ball that is explosive as well. She really does a good job of mixing speeds and throwing to all 4 quadrants.
Ball inside.
Lindsey Hansen, along with Mackenzie Donahue, the 2 hottest bats in the lineup of late. The sophomore and second-team All-American. Told us this week she was disappointed in her regular season in Big 12 play. Subpar in her estimation, and she flipped the switch at the Big 12 tournament and has been lights out since. And a hit here would be huge, Jess.
Well, and this is why. I mean, the first time through the order, their batting average 152. This is a 400 hitting team. They get to that second, third, and fourth time through, but they've got to change that now. 29 of their 38 runs that have been scored here at the Women's College World Series have come in the 4th inning or later.
Roller to Sherrill, steps on third, over to Mason at first. And the defense comes up clutch again for the Seminoles with a double play, 2 down.
And when you have a pitcher in the circle that can roll ground balls, this is what you want. Sydney Sherrill is such a veteran. An easy play for her to just scoop up the ground ball. And with Hansen being a righty, she knows she's got plenty of time to get it over to Elizabeth Mason. And of course, Sandercock is loving that. 2 big outs here in the top of the first.
Nicole Mendez, slow roller to Flaherty, underhands it to Mason Gatter. Couple of base runners, but the Sooners cannot push one across. Then the Seminoles will pick up the bats when we come back. Oh, she beat the throw to first, and a break for the Noles. It's a new day, a new night for G. Juarez, 21-1 on the season, and undefeated in the postseason at 5-0. And we wanted to revisit the play at first base. It appeared Mendez was safe, and it would have been first and third for the Sooners, and Mackenzie Donahue coming up, but she was called out end of the half inning. Mudge is the redshirt freshman. Winter Springs, Florida, has started the last 15 games and has seen her batting average jump from .211 to .341. In just her 21st start of the entire season, she has emerged late in the year, and look at the jump. It's supposed to get harder the deeper you go, and not for her. This is a big moment, too, for G. Juarez, who has been on this stage before at both Arizona State and with Oklahoma after she transferred in. A lot of experience. In a postseason career of 14-7, she lost both the championship series games in 2019, seeking redemption this year. Infield pop-up. Jana Johns will call for it. And what's the scoop on G. Juarez?
Her favorite pitch, Beth, is her curveball. The reason she likes it so much, to throw it both sides of the plate, get in on the righties, up and in on their hands, and then she likes to go backdoor, away from the righties. She'll start it off the plate. You see the spin come back over the plate. Such a tough pitch to hit. So we've seen a lot of up and down with rise and drop. You'll see a lot of left to right with the curveball.
Oh, it's up high.
One out for Sydney Sherrill. Had a 2-run single last night in game 1. From nearby Moore, Oklahoma. Between OKC and Norman. She's already secured her status as the best eye in the business. She's walked 8 times here at the World Series.
Beth, she doesn't even get out of the batter's box. Like after she takes a pitch, after she just stays right there, just waiting. Go ahead, I'm ready for the next one.
Ball.
Now she's gonna get out.
Most walks in a World Series. Veronica Nelson pretty much untouchable with the Cal Bears in 2003. Slices one foul.
There's some big-time hitters on that list. Veronica Nelson, Stacy Newman, who just got the head coaching job.
That's right. Congratulations,
San Diego State.
Great coach, great catcher, great home run hitter. Just a lot of greats in there.
She will be fabulous at San Diego State.
Ball.
And the count goes full.
Cheryl doing a good job of really looking at that inside pitch. That backdoor curveball for lefties can be so difficult to pick up. It looks like it's going to hit you. It bends back over the plate.
Right back at Juarez, and it hit her leg. And Cheryl will be safe at first. Comebacker to the circle. Juarez is going to circle around and catch her breath out behind the pitching rubber as a direct shot.
Cheryl having to get around Taylon Snow, who recovers this ball, comes after her. Misses the bag, has to come back around and grab it. I think the booing right now because being out of the running lane. Her right foot steps out of that running lane.
Patty Gasso is out to discuss just that. Tom Myers, Scott Tomlinson, Jim Bertuzzi, Lee Bowman, Dalmy, the officials. Our rules expert, Christy Cornwell. Christy, what do you see here?
Well, the running lane violation applies only to the fielder receiving a throw at first base. So she's allowed in this case to go out of the running lane to avoid the tag as long as she doesn't go within 3 feet outside of the tag. So that's a good no call by the umpire.
Thank you, Christy.
Because you see her go out of the running lane, but to Christy's point, that's only for when they're trying to make a throw to first base. In this case, she's avoiding the tag.
And it's actually only 1 foot that's out of the lane. The majority of her body was actually still on the edge of that lane.
Elizabeth Mason, the first baseman, also had an RBI single in Game 1. She is one of 5 players in the lineup, not only with World Series experience, but a national championship to her name in 2018.
Ball.
When the Seminoles lost their opening game and then won 6 in a row to win the title. They are trying to match that here tonight after they lost their opener, got shut out by UCLA. Steady improvement throughout.
Ball.
As both these sides work their way out of the loser's bracket to get here. The stolen bases allowed this season, not many, until they ran into Florida State. And Florida State ran on them. 3 swipes. Back-to-back 3-ball counts for the Seminole hitters here. Hit and run was on. Mason drills one. That's deep. And it is gone. Florida State. Quick strike in the bottom of the first. And last night it was the rookies. Tonight the veterans team it up.
Well, Beth and Jeff, this is an amazing opportunity for Elizabeth Mason. Look at this pitch. This is the 3-0. It is right down Broadway. She sees that, and then this is the ball she just hit out of the yard. Similar spot, little bit lower, but Mason on a 3-1 count just drives this out of the park. Huge home runs for Mason when she was a freshman. That helped propel Florida State to the national championship, and a big, big 2-run shot here.
Both of those coming in Game 2s of the championship series, and Mason launches one to bring Sydney Sherrill home with her. Just when they get you thinking about the short game, they go long ball. They seem to have the tools to do whatever is necessary to put runs up. As she passes some information along to her teammates in the dugout, and here comes Jen Rocha, the pitching coach.
Well, and Beth, to your point, when you're in the circle as a pitcher, you know when there is speed on the bases. You know that when you're in bad counts as a pitcher, stuff's going to happen. There's going to be hit and runs, bunt and runs. They're going to start to stir the defense and get on your pitches.
Let's check out the swing again.
What I love about this is hit and run or not. It could have been just the runner stealing, or it could have been Mason just hitting on the pitch. Either way, she just gets herself into such a great hitter's count. And that's the pitch you want. You're looking for a mistake, otherwise don't swing. Elizabeth Mason, so much she's done in the course of her career for this Florida State team. She continues to do it here in Oklahoma City.
Drove in a run with a single in game 1, and now the 2-run home run and the early lead as G. Juarez tries to settle down and settle in. She'll face Cassidy Davis, the DP, who has moved into the 4 spot, and I think there's going to be a souvenir softball for Mom and Dad. That is the second home run ball that Carl has gotten here in OKC. And the walk to Cassidy Davis. Let's send it down to Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, it's worth noting that it is blistering hot down there. You can see that G. Juarez has already sweated through much of her uniform. It is very difficult to pitch through these conditions right now. It's about 93 degrees. The humidity is close to 70%, and you can see just sweat down her arm. This is a tough battle right now for her.
Yeah, for both these pitchers, Holly, you would think, Michelle, that efficiency will be the word of the day, and as few pitches as necessary to get you back into the cooler temperatures in that dugout.
Absolutely, she needs to try to induce those pop-ups, roll the ground balls.
Ball.
Sending a message, just like they did yesterday.
Kind of freaking me out. Josie Muffley right there. That is a stare. She wins every staring contest.
Oh my gosh, she'll never lose. She'll never lose. Oh, she blinked. She blinked.
We win. Oh my gosh. She was the one that came out of the game yesterday. The dive at home plate. Looked like she was pretty hurt. Back in the lineup today.
They took her out, and she was in concussion protocol. It was late in the game, so she did not return. Back in the lineup today as Juarez responds and gets a strikeout of Danny Morgan.
This is actually an off-speed curveball, and you can see it's showing up a little bit slower, and Morgan is in front of it. I think that pitch is going to be very important for G. Juarez today.
Haley Harding moving up from the 9 spot in the lineup to 6. After going 3 for 4 last night with a home run and 4 runs batted in.
That'll earn you a couple spots up in the lineup. She also had a cannon in right field, made a huge defensive play. Throw out an Oklahoma runner at third.
Fulani Alameda, good blend of veterans and newcomers. She has done a masterful job of keeping this team focused on the finish line, because it was a very frustrating regular season. They were not hitting and scoring the way they were accustomed to. And she and the coaching staff figured out ways to motivate them, keep them going. They didn't win the ACC this year for the first time in forever, but they fought their way through as a 10 seed. They've beaten 4 teams seeded higher than them to get into the finals.
She had a great quote. We fail for each other because it's a game of failure. And the statement, the purpose behind that statement was, hey, you know what? We're in this together, because guess what? You hit 300, shoot, this team's hitting 200. You're failing 8 out of 10 times, but we're doing it together. We're failing for each other. If you fail, how do you help your teammates? How do you still stay up? How do you still get better for tomorrow? And you don't hear quotes. It's all about success and the positives. But I loved it. Failing for each other was the mission statement for this team.
Starting with a runner aboard.
And then on top of that, they took victories, they took success in the littlest things. If they got a sacrifice bunt down, they celebrated it. You know, a lot of people think, oh, big deal, it's just a sacrifice bunt. No, they celebrated it. It was all the little things, because that's what they needed to stay up, to stay confident, to believe.
And they have played loose all throughout this postseason. Had to go on the road and win at Tiger Park at LSU. Have you ever been down there? You know, that's not an easy thing to do. And look at the jump just in the last 4 games as they got closer and closer to the finals. The runners with scoring position in particular, winning those close games with clutch, not necessarily an abundance, but timely hits. And Juarez, some emotion after the strikeout. First, second of the inning, but Mackenzie Donahue to lead things off. The chance of Lou from the Partisans here in Oklahoma City. Back and forth between Donahue and Kaylee Mudge as to who's swinging the hottest bat in the tournament. 533 in the World Series for Donahue. Hit 3 home runs in their 2 games on Saturday.
Look at her OPS. 1,300. I put 3. I love it. 444 batting average.
Remember now, too, with the call in the top half of the first going against the Sooners, she would have been coming up with 2 people on base. We'll see what she does with this at-bat.
Well, and I'm sure that Lonnie Alameda and company have scouted her. Her 3 home runs that she had on Saturday were all on rise balls off 3 different pitchers that seemed to think they could take her up the ladder, and she took them out of the park.
1-2 from Sandra Cobb. That called strike 3. So no harm on the call at first last inning. 1 down.
Sandercock throws a really good flip changeup, and you can see the rotation on that ball, the tight spin. It looks like it's coming faster than it is. And Donahue, you can see it buckle her legs, her knees just enough. Really good location by Kat Sandercock.
Next up is Jada Coleman, the center fielder, who has reached base in every game but 1 this year. Fouls it off. Sooners started out the year 33-0. They've been at or near the top of the polls all year long. Just 4 losses on the season, 2 of them here at the World Series to JMU and to Florida State last night. Another packed house here at Hall of Fame Stadium, 13,000 strong, standing room only, and a shout out to that woman right there, Sharon Cessna, the longtime NCAA Director of Championships who ran this tournament for 2 decades. Congratulations, Sharon, on your retirement, and thanks for all that you did to make this such a special event and a special place to be late May and early June.
It's incredible. I mean, looking at the crowd right now. I keep taking my headset off because I want to half hear the crowd live, watch the game, be a fan, because there's so many. We've never seen so many here in Oklahoma City.
Coleman has the potential to be a big spark plug for them. Out in the center, Danny Morgan snags it as it was moving away from her. We've seen some well-hit balls off of the Sooner bats, and Florida State just will not let them find the grass.
Danny Morgan actually took an interesting route. She went in on this and then recovered and beautifully went back to jump and take away a double. Serious defense, as Holly Rowe mentioned already, from both teams.
Grace Lyons in the 7th spot, the starting shortstop. We saw the photos earlier of the Justin Bieber-loving Kat Sandercock playing in the Little League World Series. Watched as a recruit when Florida State won the title in 2018 and wanted to be in Tallahassee so she could come to this stage right here and really watch the pitchers before her, in particular Megan King, and has talked a lot with Lonnie Alameda. I want the ball. I want to be pitching in Oklahoma City in a big game, in a big moment, and this is her night to take the circle. They actually have checkups, mental checkups, strategic checkups, pre-game, preparation, in-game. They both like to talk it out a little bit.
I'm sure she loves that we showed that Justin Bieber video. We could all roll in our 11-year-old videos.
Check Bieber's Twitter, somebody.
Sandra Cox worked very hard on expanding her game, her pitches, her tools in that toolbox to be able to hammer the pitches low, to be able to come inside, work the top of the zone, and most importantly, it's that off-speed pitch that really can set up everything else.
She gets together with her infielders. For softball fans, great to see Josie Muffley back out there at short after a nasty collision at home plate. She also tweaked her knee earlier in the tournament, has the knee brace on, as Lyons sends one to Flaherty. 3 up and 3 down. The MOP, the most outstanding player of the World Series. If they win tonight, they have another trophy. Sooners must win to force Game 3 tomorrow. Elizabeth Mason with the 2-run home run and the 2-0 lead. Bottom of the order for the Noles here in the bottom of the second. Lined right at Taylon Snow at first. 1 down. If necessary, we will be back here tomorrow night for a winner-take-all Game 3. We will go in the afternoon, 3 Eastern on ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com/WCWS, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. Haven't had a 3-gamer in a while. 2016 when Oklahoma beat Auburn. In fact, just 5 times in 15 years have we gone to 3. Usually it's the Game 1 winner taking it. They've won the championship 80% of the time.
Ball.
And it has been a tough task for the top seeds. Just 5 teams seeded number 1 have won in the Champ Series era.
Ball.
You may recall Oklahoma as a 10 seed in 2017 beat the number 1 Florida, but they weren't really a 10 seed that year. That was a little funky. So this right now, as it shapes up, a legit 10 beating a 1. You know, you could make the case it's the biggest upset in the modern era if they can pull it off.
Juarez continues to spin that off-speed pitch. She can throw an off-speed curve, an off-speed rise ball. First inning, she threw 31 pitches. To your point about needing to be efficient, she's come out and worked from ahead a little bit better in this inning. Now, 4 3-ball counts in that first inning alone.
One finishing in a home run. And you've got to go over the middle. The hitters know it.
Well, and that's why it's so important to pitch from ahead. That was her 20th home run that she's given up this year, so she is a little bit prone to that long ball when she does get behind.
You don't have to look too far back in the rearview mirror to see G's reaction and response. Remember, early in the James Madison semifinals, she gave up a tater to Kate Gordon in the first inning and was just mowing them down after that. They didn't get anything.
Great point, Beth, and that was off of a curveball. And what did she do? She just switched the game plan and went up. Rise ball, rise ball.
Donahue with room. 2 down. Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, coming up to bat now is Josie Muffley, who you saw her get shaken up on that hard slide into home plate last night. I talked with Josie about it. What was really scary here, we told you she had a broken back in her lower vertebrae, but what I didn't know until I spoke to her today, is she actually has also had a cracked vertebrae in the top of her neck. She said, my neck is really sore today. She did temporarily lose some feeling and sensation, but that has all come back. She did not have a concussion, and she said, hey, at least the run scored. That's really all I care about.
Ball, that's outside.
I mean, you hear broken neck and broken back, and you look at Josie. I mean, there isn't a tougher softball player, but obviously you want to care about her health. I'm glad that she is healthy enough to be back out on the field. You see the knee brace there. She hurt that earlier in the World Series from a previous injury. Put the knee brace on to get back out on the field.
Goes Oppo, and on the run to make the catch is Nicole Mendez. We're getting ready for a little Loki love, too, on your Disney Plus, folks. Episodes every Wednesday. Janet Johns, 8-9, and then the top of the order. Had a couple of base runners in the first, a big double play for the Seminoles defense, and then Sandercock set them down in order in the second. Must win tonight for the Sooners. And Janet Johns, the batting average has dipped here at the Women's College World Series. Does have a couple of runs batted in. Coming up and in on her, knocks it out of play. Sooners trying to avoid what has not happened in 10 years in their last 9 trips to the World Series. They have not lost back-to-back games. You got to go back to 2011.
Ball.
Arizona State and Missouri got them a couple games in a row. They have not lost back-to-back games this season. Have put up big numbers following a setback. And so far this year, they have avenged their 3 other defeats. Oklahoma State, Georgia, JMU. Janet Johns, will it stay fair down the left field line? It will indeed. Home run, Sooners. Of the season for Jana.
Well, you knew the response would come. This is how OU works. It doesn't matter who's in the lineup. They've got the power. This pitch up in the zone, I mean, it was hit so high that literally watching Kaylee Mudge in left field, she didn't even move. She just watched it.
Ball.
That one ties the record, folks. Single season number 158. Tying Hawaii from 2010, and it belongs to Janet Johns. And the Sooners went back-to-back home runs last night. Snow, the number 9 hitter, playing with the injured fingers. And just like we've talked about Josie Muffley toughing it out, same story for Snow, the senior from Chino Hills, California. And you'll see the fingers actually even dangling off the end of the bat.
Yeah, she's hitting with 8 instead of 10.
Ball.
She grounded out in her 1 at-bat last night, and then they replaced her with a pinch hitter. They have the flexibility to move some parts at first base and at catcher.
Sandercock with that drop ball doesn't give up a lot of home runs. That pitch that went out was a screwball that just did not get inside enough. See if she changes and switches gears, goes more down.
Just outside the bag.
Great play by Elizabeth Mason, even on a foul ball. Range into her left. And I love it because you don't know. You don't know it's foul. You go after everything like it's fair. You never want to let something like this go or it's a double.
They are looking for the Jenna Johns family.
Oh,
there you go.
Little sis gets it.
Tradition here at the World Series.
Oh, that's cute. I love that Dad's like, no, she'll like it more. Look at her hold on to it. Nope.
Just like their fan base, the Sooner players, if they were surprised by the outcome or frustrated by it, they certainly didn't show it post-game. Garner to Flaherty. Still very confident that they could come back and make the plays tonight to force the game 3. Well, coming up after we're done, it's Wednesday Night Baseball. The Royals are in Anaheim. Take on Shohei Ohtani and the Angels. It's the final game of a 3-game set. Royals and Angels tonight on ESPN.
Jenna Johns had a Shohei Ohtani type hit. He had a 470-foot home run yesterday. Jenna Johns, I think, competing for that on the softball version.
Ball.
Jennings doubled in the first to lead off the ball game. Now has a hit in 15 of her last 16 games and a hit in both games of this champ series. Alo on deck. These are the two we talked about at the top of the program, trying to set the tone for this offense tonight.
Let's see what adjustments the Sooners make. Second time through the lineup. Seeing Sandercock.
Patty Gasso, the 4-time national champion and Hall of Famer, loves to talk about Tiare's silent and aggressive swing, and that's what Jennings was talking about with us before the champ series as well. Great backhand by the pitcher, Sandercock, to knock it down. 2 outs. Every time she comes to the plate, you hear a buzz through the building. The anticipation of Alo. And the potential for a Jalo shot. It happens once every 5.4 at-bats. She will take one out. Off of Sandercock. Cat will go after it, will not be able to make the play, and now both pitchers have been hit by a comebacker tonight. Alo aboard with 2 outs.
And for pitchers, that's the hardest spot to react. A hard ground ball that is below your knees because you just can't get down in time. You can hear that go off her leg.
Look how far it went off her leg. I mean, a lot of times, Smitty, you see that and, you know, a few feet away. And that ricocheted almost all the way back to the catcher.
And I don't know if you'll find better exit velo off the bat than Alo, so that was hot off the bat. Sandercock trying to shake it off.
It only hit the dirt once, too.
Yeah.
I thought it hit it a few more times. I mean, this is a ground ball that's basically a line drive. Off the shin.
It actually hit both of them. It ricocheted off one and hit the other.
Well, just like every other occasion we've seen from the Seminoles, a smile to one another, they'll tough it out. Although they will send Kaylin Arnold back in from the bullpen to the dugout for Florida State.
And Smitty, that could shake you up more than a home run.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Sandercock now Continue to try to work lower half of the zone and a little bit more on the edges.
Hanson hit into a double play her first time up. Right down the third base line to Sherrill. Three home runs, 8 runs batted in their 6 games here at the World Series.
Ball, outside.
Hanson ricochets off the glove to Flaherty in time to Mason at first. Top of the order here, Kaylee Mudge to start things off. Mudge, Sherrill, and Mason. The latter two producing the 2 runs in the first on Lizzie's home run.
Ball.
G. Juarez retired the bottom of the order in order in that second inning. Mudge, Coleman just a couple of steps, 1 down. Juarez, the 31 pitches in that first inning, that's when they got the 2 spot up on her. Look at the last 2 starts and how things really settle down for G after the rocky beginning.
And ironically, that's how their offense works in opposite. They're very slow to start, and then they get it going when you get to that 4th inning and later for the Sooners offense. And G. Juarez, her struggles are usually early, and then she does better later. Momentum type pitcher. Learns as she goes, switches her game plan. Coach Rocha, who calls the pitches, is one of the best in the game that formulate a plan, and if something's not working, they quickly will pivot and go to what is working, the off-speed curveball, the off-speed rise ball. Definitely the off-speed. I mean, that's something that I've seen is and immediate too. After Elizabeth Mason, the home run, and then the walk to Cassidy Davis, the 2 strikeouts. Off-speed curve, off-speed rise, and that's hard because usually off-speed, at least me as a hitter, I'm looking down when I see off-speed. When it's up, it's tricky. There it is again. It's a weird pitch as a hitter because when you see up, a lot of times it's the highest velocity pitches that you will see. And when she could pull a string on that, you don't really know what to do.
Ball, outside.
Full count.
And that's the curveball that she runs away from you. So she throws you backdoor inside and then runs it across the plate.
So a little moment right here. 5 plate appearances for Sherrill. They have yet to keep her off first base in the Champ Series. And they will here. Jennings with the pop-up. 2 down. Let's check out tonight's high performance play brought to you by Invesco QQQ.
Well, got it early. It was Elizabeth Mason back in the first. She knew it. Crushed it. Runner was going. The 2 spot. 2 runs early for the Seminoles. The difference in this game, 2-1. They're still up.
Janet Johns gloves it at third. Another quickie for G. So glad we've got the World Series back after missing out on it last year. Some work still to do for Oklahoma after a decade of dominance, 9 trips to the World Series.
6 of the last 10 years into the finals with 3 national championships. Over the last 15 years, no one has more wins, finals apps, or titles than the Sooners do under Patty Gasso. Oh, asking.
It's like they're listening.
Look at that.
Teamwork.
Finals appearances.
I mean, they're the best team the last 10 years.
It's consistency in recruiting, coaching, once they get to Norman.
Well, and you think about the game the last 10 years, we talked about the growth. I mean, the television coverage, the amount of marketing, all of that, that leads into your recruiting. And I think it just helps that keep on going. They get to the World Series, they're on this stage. You talk to a lot of young softball players, the schools they name that they want to go to are the ones they're seeing on TV.
They have been a part of 2 of the last 3 Champ Series that have gone to Game 3s. They beat Auburn in Game 3 in 2016, lost to Alabama in Game 3 in 2012. They told us this year, just like every other, they thrive on the chaos. Nicole Mendez to Flaherty. 1 down. This is usually right around the time that things start heating up at the plate for the Oklahoma offense. Look at what they've done later in games. The more they start to see opposing pitchers or get to the bullpen.
They also just score a ridiculous amount of runs. Look, it's just, that's the Women's College World Series, and you count them up. 39 runs total. But yeah, to your point, Beth, it's been later, 4th inning and on. This is the 4th. This is when they tend to get it going.
Ball. Number 1 in the country all year long. Batting average, home runs, slugging, runs scored at about 11 per game.
Always sharing information. A little sheet where they sign in and initial.
Pass the bat and pass the chat, if you will.
Well, Holly could steal one for us, so we can check it out. But what I love about it is they put their initials after each. So it'll come in. So Mackenzie Donahue's up to bat right now. She's gathering information, 2nd time through. And she's understanding exactly, okay, hey, she's coming inside with the drop ball. And she'll write that in. Hey, you know what? I needed to get my barrel out early, and put her initials next to it so other right-handed batters can look to that.
Donahue to Sherrill. 2 down. As it stands, Florida State is the national champion. If the Sooners can bounce back and win it, we will have a Game 3 tomorrow afternoon for you, 3 Eastern on ESPN, and of course streaming live on your ESPN app. The 1 seed and the 10 seed throughout much of the year. A lot of talk about whether or not this Oklahoma lineup was one of, if not the best ever. They've lost a couple of times at the World Series. And the focus has shifted a little bit to a 10 seed Florida State. That's the highest seed to ever win a championship. They could match that. And based on just how good this Oklahoma team has been, you got to talk about this being the biggest upset ever on this stage.
I think the question was coming into this World Series was, could anyone shut down the offense of Oklahoma? Ironically, that it was Oklahoma as the 10 seed that won back in 2017. When you look at strength of schedule, you look at what Florida State went through to get here, you look at Oklahoma's schedule, that was always the one question. Did they play a hard enough schedule? Were they tested enough?
Jada Coleman lines it to center in a 1-2-3 inning for Kat Sandercock.
G. Juarez is a veteran, which means she has a lot of tools in the toolbox, and she's been going to the off speed. That's a backdoor curveball off speed. How about a rise ball? Again, off speed. 3rd inning through just 9 pitches. She's retired 8 in a row because she has been mixing and working from ahead.
The slow rise, getting it done right now for Juarez. She's retired 8 straight.
Take it easy. See what you're doing there.
Bottom 4 in a 2-1 Seminole lead, and that is inside the line, out to left. Cassidy Davis will be held to the long single, and the leadoff aboard for the Noles.
Cassidy gets this off of the end of the bat. It's that same off-speed pitch, Michelle, that you were just setting up with G. Juarez. The location she hit it was perfect. Right down the line.
Well, those are the adjustments that now Florida State has to make. They need to split the zone, right, or look for speeds.
Deon Riggs is the pinch runner. Cassidy Davis can re-enter. Danielle Watson and some friends. She got the win in game 1 last night, heading out to that bullpen. I think some folks thought it was a foul ball, but it bounced over the edge of the bag, inside the line. So after the freshmen were doing some damage at the plate last night, it's back to the veteran vibe. Davis, Mason, and Sherrill each with hits tonight. Elizabeth Mason, the 2-run home run. Mason tagged out by Snow, who was charging hard at first. As Morgan lays down the sacrifice, Riggs over to second. Soccer, the NBA playoffs, UFC, all a part of the lineup. We'll have the Euro matchup between Turkey and Italy on Friday, and then Belgium, Russia Saturday. How about NBA Game 3, Jazz Clips, and then UFC 263, your weekend lineup. I'm going England in the Euros, ladies. Going England.
Usually with your accent, too.
You're darn tootin'.
Waiting for it.
Especially after Chelsea took the Champions League.
No, that's what I started saying.
And I'm done. I'm done.
She'll start calling it.
1 on with 1 out. Kaylee Harding and an RBI opportunity. Freshman out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Had the game of her life last night. I mean, she's a freshman. I don't know what she did. Maybe she had a great game her sophomore year in high school, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that home run, double, single in the national championship against OU.
This is who they want right here. She's their RBI leader this season. Oh, G had her fooled on that one. 2 down.
Juarez spinning that ball again, so tight out of her hand, the way she just rips that ball around, the rotation. Look at how tight that is spinning. That's a curveball getting underneath the hands. She will throw that both sides of the plate, that one on the inside corner. 3rd strikeout.
Ball.
Devin Fleury, 4 for 19 in the World Series. Had a hit in game 1 last night. She drilled it right at Snow at first base. A hard hit ball her first time up.
1-2.
Ball.
Missed away.
This is where G is tough because she can expand the zone so well. She gets up at your eyes, and we saw the rise ball that was way high, and Flaherty swung at it, but now she'll start to work the edges and expand on the outside corner to those lefties. It's tough to lay off of.
Continuing the lefty legacy for Patty Gasso. Loves her left-handers. All of their national championship winners, lefties. Something that G actually liked about the transfer.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is. You got next.
That's awesome.
Oh.
She's
They
ready.
know about it here.
That's right.
In the Sooner State. 2-2 pitch. Back goes Mendez. A shout out to the fans in the right field bleachers. But the Sooners are still down 1. And the bottom of the order, Lyons, Johns, and Snow. And just this is what happened between innings in the dugout. Patty Gasso having a chat with everybody.
Yeah, this is lighting a fire. This is her. She's fired up. She's been fired up since last night. Even the post-game press conference, she said, we didn't do too much. We're supposed to play well, pitch well, hit well. We didn't do any of that. Patty Gasso recognizing that this team needs a fire. She thought maybe Jana John's a home run, but right there she takes him to ensure it.
Well, how about what she said to Holly Rose? She said, we're better than this. We're better than that. We're hitting too many ground balls, and that's really what Sandra Cock has done. She has induced a lot of ground balls.
She talks all the time about the championship mindset. Every practice, there is pressure. There are situationals. There are moments that they know will come up late in the season. Nicole Mendez told us they call them championship innings, and they'll just play innings, put a runner on second, put a runner on third, you got to bring her home, and they'll work on all those kinds of things. A championship inning in practice, so it becomes a championship inning at Hall of Fame Stadium.
It's about being comfortable in those, at times, uncomfortable situations, right? Isn't that what elite athletes do?
Oh yeah, that's what you want. You want to put yourself in those situations. And Michelle, you talked about this earlier, playing harder teams during the regular season. They went into Athens, Georgia, purposely because Patty Gasso recognized they had a very easy schedule. She wanted to make them uncomfortable. And they lost that first game. The point is they came back and beat Georgia, and I think that's what she's trying to light and ignite and remind them of right now.
Second strikeout for Catherine Sandercock, and she keeps it low in the zone.
Drop ball in the outside corner. Catches Lyons stretching for it on the outside.
Here's Johns, the home run hitter.
Ball.
Sent one out in the third. Let's check out the home run ball.
Jen Johns hit this as high as you could possibly hit it here. Got a pitch over the middle of the zone. Crush it up and out. The only run for the Sooners this far. Thus far.
Sandercock was kind of leaning like, please go foul, please go foul. It didn't.
The anti-Carlton
Does that work? Like that? Exactly. I just keep.
Ball.
That was 158 for the team. At one point I was like, oh man, that's a lot of home runs. I don't know that they'll make it. Here they are.
Multi-home runs in 44 games, including in game 1. 7 different players, double-digit home runs, 3 of them over 20.
Ball.
Alo over 30.
They had 2 last night, 1 tonight. Johns fights that one off. The home run, by the way, the first that Sandercock had allowed in the World Series. Their pitching, you know, we talked about the batting, not where they wanted it to be for a lot of the season. Their pitching has been terrific by committee. Quite often, all 3 in a single game to get the job done. They had a top 10 ERA as a staff this year in the country. 3-2, grounded to Muffley, takes the hop. 2 down. Let's take a look at the Capital One Cup standings update so that the Stanford grad can strut her stuff. Teams competing for a combined $400,000 scholarship donation from Capital One. Jess, your men are in 2nd place.
Well, just watch our baseball team as they take on Texas Tech and the Supers. They'll go and pass at Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
They're only 3 points away. You just mark my words.
Stanford women are atop the Capital One Cup standings, as they most often are.
Every year, her head's getting bigger and bigger. Every year we have to put that
Go
up.
Cards. Dress like a tree next year.
Got a pinch hitter here.
I asked her, I'm like, what's your mascot? And she's like, well, it's a tree or a color.
Yeah.
What's your, what else were we saying?
It's a long story.
Yeah.
Long history.
Lindsay Elam's the pinch hitter, guys. She had a hit as a pinch hitter in game 1 in the 9 spot. That was off of Watson. Sherrill, another induced ground ball. A strikeout and a couple in the dirt. Cat keeps them quiet and a 2-1 lead. Outside of those 2 swings, Oklahoma must win to force game 3 tomorrow. Bottom 5, it's 8, 9, and the top of the order. And the Seminoles have made a switch. They've made a lot this year. Kinsey Hansen is at first base. Lindsay Elam is the catcher.
Ball.
Could be a huge deal, Smitty, but not usually for this team.
Well, Elam has caught for G. Juarez quite often,
Yes.
but I think one of the things that the Sooners might have to adjust with would be the umpire. So a lot of times you have a different catcher come in. If you're familiar with the pitcher, that's one thing, but the umpire, different movements, different way you sit, so we'll have to see if that makes any difference. You know, it's all those little nuances within the game.
One-two pitch to Anik Shelnut, flew out to left. Back in the 2nd inning. Jennings will not be able to make a play. Shelnut racing down to first. Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, we've told you all game about the toughness of Josie Muffley and all of the injuries she's had to overcome. She gets a lot of that toughness from hockey. She actually had aspirations to be a high-level Division I hockey player, and she got more and more into that hockey career, started from a very young age, but she had to take a change and go to a sport that was not as much contact after those 2 broken back incidences. I'm going to start calling her Josie Toughly because I just think she's very, very, very tough. But I love her personality. She's so cute. She's so fun, and she's just been a real inspiration for this team, everything she's overcome.
Well, and Holly, she talked about how much she learned, was able to apply from hockey. The mentality, my son plays hockey, and literally what she said, what Josie said, was that you go on 30-second shifts. And so you have 30 seconds to get on the ice and give everything that you have, and then you're out for 3 minutes. She had one time where she got out there for 30 seconds, and it wasn't her all. She sat the rest of the game, did not play again. So she's learned ever since then, if you're going to play a sport, you give it everything you have every second.
Portage, Michigan. Swinging at the rise ball there, 2-1.
Well, we've certainly seen that from her. She's got that brace on her leg, and we ask her what's wrong with her. She's like, I'm not sure yet. I'll get it checked out after the season's over.
She doesn't want to know. I wouldn't be surprised.
Championship to win. That's right.
There's a torn ligament. She's playing through it. And
Just a bonus, she's got a new nickname from Holly Rowe to take with her.
That hockey pitcher was the best, though. Yeah. The gears double the size of her.
Ball.
Full count. I thought she might be thinking sacrifice earlier in the at-bat, but now a walk would bump the runner over just as well. And it could be two. Lyons to Hanson, double play.
It's all about positioning. Ball up the middle. Grace Lyons, easy peasy, going to pick it up and gun it over to Kenzie Hanson, who's now at first base. But I love just the smooth, relaxed nature of this ball up the middle. And geez, loving what she sees from her defense.
Neal will come out and chat with Juarez. A reminder, if Oklahoma ends up winning this ball game, our game 3 to decide the championship would be tomorrow afternoon at 3 Eastern. Oklahoma would flip back to the home team. Also streaming live on your ESPN app.
Ball.
I'm a little surprised that we didn't see a pinch runner for Shelnut, and then a little bit of hit and run, button run, and run to try and turn the lineup over in that 8 and 9 spot.
That is definitely Florida State's game. Messing on the base pass.
Ball.
Facing that 2-run home run. All the Seminoles have done offensively. I mean, they have been quiet. A couple leadoff hits, but immediately taken away. And you're really just waiting. I mean, it's hard to believe that Oklahoma will score just 1 run. I mean, that just doesn't happen with this offense.
Which is why I thought we'd see something here late in the game, bottom of the 5th.
Ball.
It's not over yet, Smitty. Watch Kaylee Mudge.
2-out walk for Mudge. We've seen her score a run without a hit to back her up. She's stolen bases, moved on wild pitches and passed balls, taken advantage of errors. Sydney Sherrill here at the plate.
Now that's the Seminole, third baseman, number 24, Sydney Sherrill.
Sydney Sherrill, we talk about her great at-bats. Just the past 3 games, she's had 6 3-ball at-bats and 5 full counts. She can work a count. And some of those, we've seen her down 0-2, like this one, where she'll come back. Great eye, and that's hard. I know when I had 2 strikes, Smitty, I mean, the zone just got huge because you don't want to strike out looking, and she will still spit on pitches that are close. She's still looking for her pitch to drive.
Infield pop-up. A 1-run game to the 6th inning, and it's go time for the Sooners. Here comes a bloop single out to right field from Jennings. The only hard-hit ball, or the only ball to get out of the infield from the top 3, and Jennings will reach here as Mason could not reel in the off-target throw from Muffley.
And the tying run is aboard. And Jocelyn Alo, the go-ahead with a bat in her hand.
Lefley's just got to throw this off of her front foot. She makes this play all the time. Her momentum takes the throw up the line. Nothing Mason can do. E6.
Ball.
This is the game right here. You just feel it. And not that Oklahoma can't score in the top of the 7th when they have more at bats, but this is who they want up to bat when they want them.
Ball. Left.
Oklahoma takes the lead. A record-breaking smash for the new single-season record.
She's one of the best for a reason. This is not a bad pitch. A lot of times we're looking at mistakes made by a pitcher. This is a drop ball outside, and Jocelyn Alo not only gets to it, she crushes it. That is such a hard pitch to be able to hit, let alone drive. The emotion from Jocelyn Alo.
A home run every 5.4 at-bats. She was a couple ABs late, but I don't think the Sooners will mind. Since she hit her last one earlier in the World Series. And a 3-2 Oklahoma lead.
Ball.
Off speed to Kinsey Hansen, 1-1. They got every record imaginable. Best batting average in a season. Slug, most home runs, most runs scored. And the best lineup that we've ever seen has taken the lead in Game 2, trying to tie up the champ series. Hansen at first.
And it's that third time through the lineup where the adjustments really start to come through for Oklahoma.
I've never heard it louder here.
Never been 13,000 here before.
Upper deck.
With a new capacity. And as you would imagine in OKC, most of the fannies in the seats belong to Sooner fans. And there aren't many fannies in those seats right now, on their feet. Lincoln Riley on hand, the football coach. There you go, a little selfie.
Where else would you want to be in this state? Bring your kids. Looks like he's got his baby girls.
We set it up earlier in the ball game. The later they go, the more pitches they see from the starter, the better they get at the plate. And the third time through, Jocelyn Alo crushes a 2-run home run to right center.
huge right there. I mean, honestly, I can't imagine Catherine Sandercock has ever had that loud of a crowd, that much emotion. Lonnie Alameda called timeout. This place got louder. She comes back and throws a strike. Smitty, you know how hard that can be.
Riley Boone, your pinch runner. Hansen can re-enter. 0-1 to Nicole Mendez.
Yeah, it's all about focus and continuing to work with your catcher.
Ball.
2 misses away.
I still can't get over this. We haven't had fans in the stands for how long like this at a college event. This is the first time we've had this many. And to have it be in a game like this, this is a pretty special moment.
Mendez, another get through. Boone will hold at second. 2 on and still nobody out. And it's the local fan favorite, Donahue, coming up. 3rd hit of the inning for the Sooners with Mendez aboard.
And I know Alo had the big home run, but it's still the ground balls. They're now just finding holes. I mean, really, Sandercock's getting where the results she wants. Weaker ground balls, finding spots that can get through the infield.
For both these teams, they've stressed throughout the tournament the personal accolades, the numbers don't matter. It's all about doing stuff for the team. Survive, advance. Remember the home run by Jocelyn Alo in the semifinals when the game was in hand. She sent one out, and the trot around the bases was pretty matter of fact. She knew she had more business to tend to. And what a difference today that it's a go-ahead home run in an elimination game. Hello.
The Shaka to her home state of Hawaii. The emotion and passion.
Talking with G. Juarez, how about the job that G has done? I thought that the last 2 innings Florida State had a lead off on, couldn't do anything. G shut him down. That's momentum, right? You're building for the opportunity for the offense to do their job, and they have just come out here and exploded in this top of the 6th.
Boone and Mendez on base.
Ball.
Missed it away. Check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, Jocelyn Alo has sacrificed a ton to be here in this moment. She and her dad, Levi, would save up $10,000 each summer, come from Honolulu and come here to the U.S., get a 1-bedroom apartment so she could play travel ball all summer long. There were long nights, long drives. Their family sacrificed so much, but here she is with an opportunity for a championship, and she said it's all worth it.
Well, and Holly, part of that pressure she put on herself was asking herself, have I earned the amount of money that my parents spent on all the travel, all the time? I need to make sure that I'm paying them back with my performance. And she said she put that pressure on herself early, and it wasn't until her freshman year at Oklahoma she kind of looked at herself, looked at her dad, and said, I've done it. It's been worth all the money and time.
Donahue right back up the middle. They're waving Boone in, and she will score. Lou provides the 3rd run of the inning. And still nobody out.
Starting to really take advantage of the pitch low in the zone, make that adjustment.
This is the adjustments. As you see Catherine Sandercock come out of this game because Oklahoma has figured out how to hit her.
Senior from Maryville, Tennessee.
Ball.
Jada Coleman will step in. 3 runs in the inning. The towering home run from Jocelyn Allo. The RBI single, Mackenzie Donahue. Nobody out. They have chased the starter, Catherine Sandercock. In an inning that all started with a defensive error. And as Patty Gasso likes to say, with this lineup so strong from top to bottom, things get hot real fast. And we have seen just that here in the 6th. And it's getting hotter. Mendez will score.
Changeup on the outside corner that Coleman just waits on, let it travel deep in the strike zone. And the Sooners really doing a good job of seeing pitches, letting them travel, and then barreling them up here late in the game with the Gladiator.
The Gladiator
Are you
is
not entertained?
I believe they are at this point here in the arena.
In-house Gladiators.
He's got his Sooner shield there. Low-line pitch to Lyons, and she will drop down the bunt. Moves a couple 60 feet closer to home.
It's crazy. All these runs that have scored, the momentum of this inning, the huge hits. There were no outs, and so still now getting to the bottom of this lineup, playing small ball, sacrificing runners over.
Janet Johns grounded out in the 5th. Her first at-bat, a home run ball in the 3rd.
Ball.
A 4-run 6th inning, 2 more in scoring position.
Ball.
Five hits in the inning.
Ball.
3-0. Fourth appearance of this World Series for Arnold. Second in relief, also has a couple of starts. 9 innings of work, has given up 2 home runs. Second year in the program after transferring in from Tennessee, where she was an SEC Freshman of the Year. And the bases are loaded for Lindsey Elam. She's one of the double-digit home run hitters in this lineup. Hit a couple in the Big 12 tournament. Hit a couple in the regionals. Beat by JMU here on Thursday. Came back with a run rule win. Beat by Florida State last night. And looking to respond in kind after an 8-4 loss. They have backed up their defeats this year big time. Florida State fans trying to help the defense in Arnold right now.
How about the riches for Patty Yasso? So Elam does not start. She comes off the bench. She's a 350-plus hitter. She's got double-digit home runs. I mean, she didn't even start today's game, and that's who's coming off the bench. That's just how good and how much depth there is on this Oklahoma team.
In the dirt. Good block by Shelnut. Holy cow, part of that softball fan is missing. There's been a few of those moments throughout this Women's College World Series. Odyssey Alexander and JMU getting all the way to the national semifinals. The last games for legendary head coach Mike Candrea on these fields before he announced his retirement after the Wildcats returned to Tucson. The 10 seed battling with the 1 seed, both sides coming out of the loser's bracket to make it to the Champ Series. And the final game for Lou Harris Champer as well, with the Georgia Bulldogs on this field. The pop-up, 2 down. 25 years in the coaching ranks for Lou. And the more memories to come, either tonight for Florida State or a carryover into tomorrow for Oklahoma. Jennings started out the inning reaching on an error and then trotting home in front of Jocelyn Alo on the home run. And they've come all the way back around. And that one with Harding coming on makes the catch. That will end the inning, but 4 on the board and a lead for OU.
The National Player of the Year for a reason. Jocelyn Alo with another one, the biggest one to put her Sooners up.
Run 6th inning as the Sooners take the lead. Jocelyn Alo with the 2-run home run to set the new single-season team home run record. 159, and the second home run of the ball game. She and Jana Johns. Mason has the home run for the Seminoles, a 2-run shot back in the first, and it's their first deficit now of the Champ Series after an 8-4 win yesterday when they jumped in front 7-zip.
3, 4, 5 coming up. Mason, a rocket. Donahue on the run, snags it. And pounds the ball into the wall.
What a jump. This is a great view. You see her break to the right and then the grab. I love the emotion after. I mean, she got up and out. That's 2-3 feet up and then over to be able to catch this. That's why she's breaking the fence down. Tell you what, as much as the home runs have been fun, it's been the defense. That is what has fueled the turnover, is great, amazing defensive plays we have seen from outfielders, infielders, hitting your cut. The diving catches, the emotion. It'll pump you up just as much as a long ball, I'm telling you.
Ball, throw.
Point for softball fans, you know, it doesn't matter what team they're on or what the situation, you love to see players come back from adversity and from injury. And for G. Juarez, it was 2 years away from this stage with a bicep injury, a long way back for her. Throwing as well as we've seen her since before the injury. And good timing for Oklahoma, and there's a little sass to her. We asked her about it this week. A little feistiness in her game that comes with a confident, 100% healthy pitcher that's got the swagger back. Lyons with the charge. 2 down.
These are big-time plays. I mean, she makes this look so easy. This hop, it ain't easy. You got to go out, get it, swipe it, throw it off your front foot. Oh, by the way, 3 feet to give you time. Grace Lyons, one of the best shortstops in the game, showing it off in a big way there.
Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. And with 2 down, it's Danny Morgan, a strikeout, and laid down a sacrifice in the 4th.
Ball.
A 2-run deficit in an elimination game against Arizona, and Danny Morgan with 2 on knocked one out of the yard. They ended up winning the game on a walk-off.
Ball, throw.
They have the capability in their swings with 1 pitch. In fact, they talked to us about that this week. Our mentality, if we're not hitting 400, just find the 1 pitch. And a key at bat.
Ball, foul.
And she will draw the walk.
Well, and Beth, you brought up the home run by Danny Morgan in that game against Arizona. That's the last time they trailed until now.
Saturday morning. Yeah. Kaylee Harding, a home run and 4 RBI in Game 1 last night. Out in front.
Kaylee Harding, super quiet though in this game. She's got 2 strikeouts, both on off-speed pitches. That was the same pitch. She just got the swing and miss. She's just having a hard time picking it up. It's coming into her hands, so she gets going quick.
She hides it so well. It looks just like her regular curveball. It's got that tight rotation like her regular curveball. So as a hitter, it's hard to differentiate between those 2 pitches. And how about home run number 159, the record breaker?
I'd say that's a rewarding performance.
It's fitting that it was her, and here she is again.
I'm still so impressed with the home run that she hit because of where the ball was pitched. Sandercock all game long has had success with that drop in and away, ground balls, and Jocelyn Alo, I would say, is one of few hitters that can hit a pitch low and away as far as she hit it.
And for a strike 0-2. Just to button up the story we were telling earlier, that National Player of the Year award and all that her family had done for her. Holly Rowe reminding us that she gave that to her dad, Levi. He's in possession just as much her family's and her team as it is hers, and she's got another base hit.
I mean, just her day tonight, her night tonight, hitting a base hit up the middle. The home run, and then look at this one. I mean, this is just pure strength. I mean, she is beat. This is like you have won as a pitcher. Why? Because her entire backside is going towards left field. She throws her hands at this. Because of her strength, it gets into right field for a base hit.
On board for the 4th time with the home run, 2 singles, and a walk. Top 7, so Florida State would be down to its last 3 outs. The bottom of their order is due up in the bottom of the 7th. And Oklahoma tag on more runs prior to that. Oklahoma's side hoping that it will be the 6th time in 16 years that there will be a Game 3. And another hit for Hanson, runners on the corners.
Wish we had some exit velocity on this one because it was definitely faster coming out than it was coming in. Kinsey Hanson crushes this one off the wall. She misses a home run by 1.5 feet. Keely Mudge doing a good job of getting that ball in. All smiles now for the Sooners. They were quiet the first few innings. That is not the case the last 2.
Nicole Mendez in her 22nd Women's College World Series game of her career. A national champion as a freshman for the senior from Houston. Singled and scored in the 6th. Back-to-back singles for Alo and Hanson. Mendez Goes Oppo and should be deep enough to drive in a run. The sacrifice fly for Mendez scores Allo. 6-2 Sooners. And Lonnie Alameda back out in the circle. And they will make another pitching change. Catherine Sandercock started. Kaylin Arnold came on in relief. And now Emma with 1 out in the top of the 7th and a 4-run deficit.
Ball.
That's the left fielder from Mackenzie Donahue.
The number 5 hitter, Mackenzie Donahue, a strikeout, a ground out, and then an RBI single in a big 4-run 6th inning.
Ball. Nice play.
Last inning for Emma back on May 8th at Pittsburgh. Pitched an inning in the 3rd.
Ball. Hey!
Donahue off the end of a bat, slow roller, Muffley, and will not have a play. Scored an infield hit. 2 on with 1 out. Here's the update for you. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and now 4th time through the lineup. 407's too low. They're batting .750. Mason for 1, and the throw pulled Muffley off the bag up in the air, and Donahue is safe. 2 down.
That saved a run. This would have been an uncharacteristic double play. They would have had to made a tag there at second base, but they had her. Mason just throws this. I thought this was for sure headed out. Look how high Muffley gets off the ground. Runner at 3rd, they would have scored easily.
Ball.
Hinton and Donahue in scoring position for Grace Lyons. A ground out, a strikeout, and a sacrifice. Well under her average here at the Women's College World Series, so she's looking for a little something to wake up the bat and carry it over into a game 3 if there is one tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow afternoon on ESPN, unless the Seminoles can come up with something big in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, and let's be real, Grace Lyons is in this lineup for her defense. I mean, everything she provides at shortstop, you just go so spoiled when you're watching this Oklahoma Sooners team that you're expecting the 7, 8, 9 hitters to be tattooing it every single time they come up to bat, because that's what they did all season long.
They've been good on 2 outs here at the World Series. Sherrill over to 1st, and that will end it. Another run in, a 6-2 lead for Oklahoma, 3 outs away from forcing game 3.
She has recovered nicely from those big hits in those first innings, completely changing her game plan.
chance for the Noles, 7, 8, and 9. Here's Devin Flaherty. Just 4 base runners since that first inning, and only one of those into scoring position.
Ball.
Well, because she has so many tools that she can work with against JMU, it was a curveball that went out of the yard. She switched to her rise ball and was outstanding, shut them down. Same thing here. Mason with a pitch on the inside corner, takes it out of the yard. She continues to go back door and use that off speed.
Number 5 for G.
She's a momentum pitcher. She gets stronger as she goes. The backdoor curveball going right at the hip of Flaherty. 13 swing and misses now for G. Juarez in the circle.
Rosanna Shelnuck. They're up. Lions. 2 down. On their feet at Hall of Fame Stadium. 1 out away from game 3. Pinch hitter, Kylo Preste.
Ball.
I don't think Florida State, they don't win this game that they need to get back to, that's gotten them here to this point, is that short game, utilizing when they get runners on, hit and runs, the button runs. Because 2 runs isn't going to cut it. This Oklahoma offense will score. The mindset is you have to be able to get more runs in a variety of different ways against them.
Ball. Outside.
2-1.
Preste's sitting in here. It looks like that she's looking for that curveball in the inner half. She's kind of stepping a little bit open, which tells me that that's her guess until she gets 2 strikes. She got it. G's a step ahead of her. She gave it to her, and she gave it about 2 feet off the plate. You want in? I'll give you in.